talking to us, so you showed out on the field today. Is that what happened? Felt pretty good out there today?
Yeah, no, I felt pretty good. Coming off an off day, getting back in the groove of things. So definitely felt good to get back out here.
How do you feel like you're fitting in this offense?
I think I'm fitting pretty well. Kind of ran the same scheme the last 2 years, so kind of definitely more comfortable than I would have been. Hence going somewhere else and trying to fit in, but just getting more knowledge of the offense now that I know what's going on. Now I can look at the better details of it and then also help the other guys when I do know the answer.
How similar is this scheme to what McDaniels ran out there?
Very similar. Very similar.
Yeah,
very similar. Different terminology, obviously, I guess. Each coach definitely throws their own twist on things, but very similar from the basic standpoint.
I'll say one question right quick. How much trust do you feel like you're earning from the quarterback?
I mean, trust goes up every time you catch the ball, so hopefully I'm gaining more and more every day. With every pass that's thrown to me, I can haul them in.
Cedrick, is it oversimplifying things to say, I mean, it's obvious that Chris Olave and Rashid Shahi, who are established here, are smaller guys, fast guys, deep threats, and the void this team needs to fill is physical, blocking, that kind of stuff. I mean, is there an obvious niche that you want to show them you can fill to complement those guys?
I mean, from the personal standpoint, I just want to put my best foot forward, whatever is asked of me to do. That's what I'm going to do, whether it's block, whether it's catch the ball, whether it's special teams. That's my personal goals. But I don't really think a physical aspect needs to be added. I feel like the guys do a pretty good job. They just haven't been asked or required to do it yet. So in camp right now, they're doing it pretty well when they're asked to do it. So I feel like it'll show when the time comes.
Cedrick, when you signed with the Saints, did you take a look at that depth chart in the roster and be like, not only can I make this fit 3-man, I can compete for a lot of playing time?
I mean, no, I didn't really look at the depth chart. Honestly, no. It's just, I mean, it was kind of going down to where I wanted to be at, play at, and also live. So when it came down, when I got here, the depth chart is what it is. I mean, I'm still have to compete for my job regardless because I'm going against definitely a young group of guys. They have a ton of energy and they definitely run fast.
Going from Miami to New Orleans is pretty good cities to live in, huh?
Oh yeah, definitely. Food's fire in New Orleans.
What's your history as a blocker? Is it something you've always embraced, or is it something you learned earlier in your career that it helps?
Honestly, no, it wasn't. Definitely not something I really necessarily like to do. Kind of had to learn it last 2 years in Miami when you had the two guys getting the ball. I had to learn how to get in where I fit in, and then in this league, if you block pretty good, then you'll find yourself around catching some football. So kind of learned that going into year 5 and 6, and hopefully it prolongs my career.
Having played in this system before, what do you kind of make of just the way so many teams are trying to emulate it now and copy it? And is there a point where it kind of could it reach oversaturation with so many teams trying to run it?
I mean, I don't think it'll definitely go over, but the offense is definitely unique for the last 2 years. Like I said, running it and now seeing Clint's mind work with it, it's a great offense when the mastermind behind the ones that's calling the plays are geniuses as well. And if everyone's trying to do it, it's just who can do it the best. So, I mean, I feel like it's definitely a copycat lead anyway. But each team has their versatility of their guys, so that's when you'll see the differences in the offense.
So from that standpoint, does Clint do you think stand out about Clint the way he tries to add new wrinkles to it, or what have you kind of observed from him and the way he's trying to apply it maybe with his own spin?
I mean, I haven't got to see too much of it yet because obviously OTAs and training camp we've been just doing installs. So I'm sure later on in game week planning I'll see more of it. But just to get basic fundamentals of the offense, he has it all the way down packed. I think he's been around it since he was young, and you can definitely tell the details that he harps on. He's a very calm guy, but when he doesn't like something, he's for sure going to let you know.
And Chris has mentioned the yards after the catch in the system too. What allows that to kind of build, and how did you kind of notice that in Miami especially? I
mean, it was just preached. I mean, that's preached everywhere, but definitely in this offense because there's a lot of timing routes to it. So when you catch the ball, you definitely have to go get the yak, and it's plenty of yards after the catch because whoever's calling offense, they scheme it up pretty well where when you're usually catching the ball, you're pretty much wide open if you do your part. And, I mean, yards after the catch, you try to score so we don't have to call another play.
I heard Clint kind of talking about when you're watching the film, you're stopping the film and looking at the guys where they aren't maybe first, second in the progression, and he's kind of harping on you guys to Like, look, I'm watching you all the time. Like,
Oh yeah, for sure. No, you have to run your. That's the thing. That's also another thing I learned in this offense. Because you're pretty much going to know if you're a second or third option, but you have to run your route to win. Because if you don't practice it, you're not going to be there when we need it. So if you're third, fourth in the progression, run your route to win, and when the ball comes to you, catch it because we probably need the check down.
Anything else? Thank you, sir.
Thank you
Good to
very
go.
much, sir.
Hey, I appreciate y'all. Enjoy